The king is really angry. What is the king so mad about? Well, some colonists in America decided to have a little tea party with his tea. And no, it wasn't the kind of tea party that his daughter would have with her friends. It was the kind of tea party that involved 92 hogsheads of tea, 342 pounds of tea, dumped into the sea. That's 92,000 pounds of tea. How could they do such a thing? Because they were protesting, of course. They were protesting the Tea Act, which gave the British East India Company a monopoly on tea sales in the colonies. The colonists were furious because this act, passed by Parliament, was basically a tax on tea, and the colonists didn't like being taxed without their consent. But who asked for the colonists' consent? Not the king. He just wanted to get that sweet tea money. And now he is really angry. Oh, very angry. So angry that the whole country might be in peril. Let's hear more about this very angry king from another angry king. George III, King of England, was indeed very upset about the Boston Tea Party. So much so that he was ready to unleash the full force of the mother country on those unruly American colonies. At least that's what he said. And you know what? He probably meant it. In 1773, while tensions were high between the colonies and the Crown, the British government passed the Tea Act. It granted the struggling British East India Company a monopoly on the sale of tea in the colonies. This act actually lowered taxes on tea, but colonists saw the move as an attempt to control trade and circumvent their rights as Englishmen. The East India Company's monopoly gave it the power to set prices and make rules about how tea had to be sold, which angered merchants who lost the ability to sell other teas or to sell tea at lower prices. On December 16, 1773, members of the Sons of Liberty snuck onto merchant ships carrying British tea and dumped the cargo overboard. This act of defiance, known as the Boston Tea Party, was a major escalation in the growing conflict between the American colonies and Great Britain. In response, the king got real mad and unleashed a series of measures designed to punish the colonies and restore order. In addition to closing the port of Boston until the East India Company was reimbursed for its lost tea, the king issued the Massachusetts Government Act, which tightened control over the colony's legislature and placed restrictions on town hall meetings. These acts were meant to punish Massachusetts and serve as a warning to other colonies. The king's anger was palpable in the closing of the port, which prevented merchants in Boston from trading until the debt was paid. This act also sent a clear message. The king was not pleased. As Samuel Adams put it, "If this act be suffered to pass, it will, in effect, be an order to all the world to join in destroying the American trade." The situation was dire, to say the least. But wait, there's more. The king was also angry with the man who led the Boston Tea Party, Samuel Adams. Oh, yes, he wanted him to suffer, too. He ordered that Adams be arrested and sent to Britain to stand trial for his role in the Boston Tea Party. But Adams was a crafty one, and he avoided capture. The king continued to fume as the years went on, and the American Revolution grew closer. He watched as his troops were defeated, and his authority over the colonies was challenged. But he never did capture Samuel Adams. So there's that. So the king was really angry. But who could blame him? After all, someone had dumped 92,000 pounds of tea into the sea. That's enough tea to make anyone angry.